Let's talk about the performance of autopsies, 19-4301B. And you can see the PDF file that I pulled, and this is regarding Criminal Procedure, Title 19, Chapter 43, and Coroner's Inquest. So before I get into the inquest, I want to skip over to this part first. Performance of autopsies. The coroner may, now this is not shall, they might, not that they have to. Basically, it's their judgment call, the judgment call of the coroner. The coroner may, in the performance of his duties under this chapter, summon a person authorized to practice medicine and surgery in the state of Idaho to inspect the body and give a professional opinion as to the cause of death. The coroner or the prosecuting attorney may order an autopsy performed if it is deemed necessary accurately and scientifically to determine the cause of death. When an autopsy has been performed pursuant to an order of a coroner or a prosecuting attorney, no cause of action shall lie against any person, firm, or corporation for participating in or requesting such autopsy. Now let's go back to the top of this paragraph. The coroner may summon a person to authorized to practice medicine and surgery in the state of Idaho to inspect the body and give a professional opinion as to the cause of death. So that right there, when it comes to the Idaho 4, was this, did the coroner request or summon a person authorized to practice medicine and surgery to inspect the bodies of the Idaho 4, to give a professional opinion as to the cause of death? The concern there is this. We already know that Kathy Mabbutt, the coroner in Moscow, Idaho, misinformed the public, or at least there is a conflict between her statement regarding everyone being in bed and allegedly sleeping, if I'm not mistaken, during the time they were attacked. With that being said, I would think it's of most importance, the utmost importance, to have someone that is qualified in the state of Idaho to give their opinion by inspecting the body as to the cause of death. Was that done? Now, of course, the families can request whatever they may regarding autopsies or what have you, but as far as what we know in the public, this information is definitely conflicting with the report of the police officers stating that Ethan was in the doorway of Xana's room. And if I'm not mistaken, that Xana was found at another spot within her bedroom, right? So another concern is that a coroner in Moscow, Idaho, or at least in Idaho, is elected and to serve for 4 years. So how is it that Kathy Mabbutt is and has been the only coroner since 2006? I mean, what is that? 4 times, 3.5 or 4 times the normal amount of time that one would be a coroner, which to me screams corruption. Doesn't have to be, but it would seem as though if it's not outright corruption, that there is a underlying reason why she's still the coroner. And the fact that she has not told the truth is a problem. And then when you go back up here, this talks to the county coroner to investigate deaths. When do they do so? When a county coroner is informed that a person has died, the county coroner shall investigate the death if the death occurred as a result of violence, whether apparently by homicide, suicide, or by accident. B, the death occurred under suspicious or unknown circumstances. or the death of a stillborn, C, right? But that doesn't apply in this scenario or situation. 2, if a death occurs that is not attended by a physician and the cause of death cannot be certified by a physician, the coroner must refer the investigation of the death to the sheriff of the county or the chief of police of the city in which the incident causing the death occurred. If such county or city is unknown, to the sheriff or chief of the county or city where the body was found. So my question there is there a sheriff in Moscow, Idaho? And if so, who is the sheriff? Or was this just passed on to the chief of police? The investigation shall be the responsibility of the sheriff or chief of police. Upon completion of the investigation, a written report shall be provided to the coroner of the county in which the death occurred, if such county is unknown to the coroner of the county where the body was found. A coroner in the county where the incident causing the death occurred, or if such county is unknown, the coroner in the county where the body was found may conduct an inquest if there are reasonable grounds to believe as a result of the investigation that the death occurred as provided in subsection 1 of this section, which goes back up here. Okay, you can screenshot that and read it again. If an inquest, number 4, if an inquest is to be conducted, the coroner shall summon 6 persons qualified by law to serve as jurors for the inquest. Nothing in this section shall be construed to affect the tenets of any church or religious belief. Okay, and then we'll get into deaths to be reported by law enforcement. So it's, to me, it seems to be a little confusing. With, on one hand, they're saying that the coroner is to investigate, but then it also says that the responsibility can be passed on to the chief of police. I don't know, that's up in the air. Maybe I'm missing something there. But the important thing here is, was an inquest requested? Because in that, they have to summon, the coroner must summon, shall, not may, but shall, summon 6 persons qualified by law to serve as jurors for the inquest. And I don't believe that that was done. And if it was, it's being kept hidden from the public. But it just confirms to me the suspicions I personally have regarding Kathleen Mabbitt, the length of time that she's been the coroner, the statements that she made in her interviews, speaking about how she technically didn't see the bodies until hours later. So, was this investigation of the bodies and the deaths and the manner of death, was it investigated properly? Please leave your comments and your thoughts below, and we're going to keep going. We're going to get into deaths reported by deaths to be reported to law enforcement officials and coroner.
Mabbutt.
And I'm going to ask you, how long have you been doing this for?
I've been doing it for 16 years, and I just got reelected for another 4.
So what is it that, or I guess, when did you get the call on Sunday?
I got the call just a few minutes after noon that there were 4 homicides, but I didn't go to the scene because of law enforcement doing their investigation first. So I didn't actually go to the scene until about 5 or 5:30.
Can you walk us through, like, for our viewers, kind of the process between when police show up and then you guys getting the bodies and doing your examinations?
Sure. Well, law enforcement goes through and looks for any evidence, takes videos and pictures of everything in there, and they'll start talking with people. So I don't really need to be there for that. They can't move the bodies. I mean, the bodies have to stay as they were until the coroner gets there. So that's what my job is, to look at the bodies.
As a coroner, do you guys do the autopsies and all that?
No, we some do if they're an actual medical examiner, but we have forensic pathologists, and we contract with Spokane to do that.
So in your experience, what is it that you saw when you showed up?
Well, there was a lot of blood. It was,